Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dominic Miano. I'm the National Sales Manager for Paradigm Properties Australia. And I'd like to thank you for jumping onto this webinar today. And by watching this 18-minute webinar, I promise you, by the end of it, you will learn why, how, and where some of the hottest property markets are in the US and will continue to be over the next decade and beyond. At the end of this webinar, I'll explain to you the included services we provide and how these services will make it easy and hassle-free for you to invest. In this webinar, I'll ask you to pay attention to the stats and figures, as these are the actual facts that will prove why this region will continue to grow moving forward. So let me first tell you a bit about myself. I'm 36 years old. I started getting involved and learning about different global property markets about 8 years ago. I currently have 4 properties and I'm about to buy my 5th. 3 of those are in Australia, the other 2 in Dallas-Fort Worth region. And all of my properties produce a passive income. So before we go any further, let me ask you, do you have your multiple streams of passive income already set up? If not, you need to start now and plan for your future. So this webinar today, we're going to now focus on the North Texas growth moving to the year 2030, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington area. Now, the reason we focus in this area is because we've seen some amazing growth and we're going to continue to see some great opportunities for the next 14 years or so. And I really think it's important that a lot of people know about this because it is happening and it's happening quickly. And you want to get involved before the window closes. We will see the window close over the next few years as the capital growth continues to climb at such a good rate. The people who get in earlier will definitely benefit. Okay, so these are an example. Here's a couple of properties that we actually specialize in. As you can see, properties under 200,000. This one here for 183,200. As you'll see, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. This is a fully renovated property. It's got new kitchens, flooring, bathroom, carpet, paint, anything that needs to be done, we're going to do because we actually do a 12-month maintenance guarantee as well. So it's already, as you can see, it's already tenanted, renting out at $1,570 a month. And the net return, not gross return, net return is just shy of 7%. So yearly rental return is $1,840, less expenses, $6,000, which is your your property management fee, your home insurance, and your rates, which they call taxes. So you're left with just shy of $13,000 a year US in your pocket as cash flow. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, cool. Another example here. So once again, fully renovated, under 200,000. So new flooring, carpets, kitchen, fittings, fixtures, bathrooms. Same thing again. So once again, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, renting out at $1,450 a month. These are all US, these numbers. And it's got a net return of 7.56%. Third example, 171,000. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2001 property, renting out at $495 a month. Once again, 7.4% return. So these are fully renovated, really nice homes that you or I would comfortably live in, and it just goes to show what is over there at the price. So I want to put this in perspective for you. Monthly rent at $1,495. Now in Australia, we look at rents in weeks, not in months like the US. But if you break that down into weekly, that's $345 a week on average for a property that costs $171,000. That's why we're getting these net returns around the 7% mark. So now let me show you a video of this property so you can actually see a bit of a walkthrough in the actual quality. So this property here, as you can see, nice, clean, tidy property. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. As I said, it's just had full renovation. So that's new paint, new carpet, new flooring, new fixtures, new fittings, new kitchens, new bathrooms. Everything has been done to really suit tenants as well. That's why we have the darker hardware and carpet, slightly darker walls. So it's geared towards having tenants, which is just going to make it more efficient because you don't want to have marks and whatnot. So as you can see, the new bench tops, new kitchens. Nice, clean, tidy area. So here's the bedrooms. You can see the bathroom once again has all been redone, so new bathrooms, interior, nice and tidy, nice and clean. Rightio. Okay, so now you know the type of properties that we supply and specialize in. Now let's look at the facts in the areas and why we're focusing in the right areas. Okay, so if you look at this graph here, it's about Texas and the growth projections overall. As you can see here, the North Central Texas Council of Governments, they're projecting growth of over 2 million people living in this area in the next 14 years. So basically, we've got 7.1 million people in this Dallas-Fort Worth area at the moment, and they're expecting growth of about up to 9.5 million people. So that's pretty huge growth in the next 14 years. So as we talk about population growth, you can see here the NCTCOG, now they've done the calculations going back from the year 2000, moving forward to the year 2030. So over this 30-year period, they've calculated it'll be a growth of 1.6 million households with a total of 4.1 million people added to the area. So that's an average growth of 2.6% per year each year over the 30-year period. Now compare that to the current US population growth, which is actually only 0.73%. So we're seeing a huge amount of growth in Texas as opposed to the whole country. So this growth is going to come from the demographics, and let's look at the two major demographics in this area. So one is going to be increasing diversity. Now this is going to be due to the region's strong market growth, right? Because there's so many jobs that are coming up and available in this area, you've got a massive influx of people moving to the area. The next part is also going to be the aging population. Okay, so this is a really cool graph. I like this one. It's from A&M University, and they send out quarterly reports of the housing market. All right, so this one is based around the Dallas-Fort Worth Arlington area. So as we see here in the second quarter of 2016 versus the second quarter of 2015, we've already had capital gains and appreciation of 8.2%. So the median home price has now lifted to $238,000. The current median price in the US is actually just over 230,000. So we're not overinflated by any means, not like markets in California and New York and whatnot. So we've got plenty of room to grow to catch up with these other high demand areas. So if we're having a look back here, we can see average pricing is actually up 8.2% in the last 12 months. We've got days on market is down 3 days, down to 34 days. We've got closed sales is actually up 4%, but the active listings is down 2.7%. So that just shows we've got more sales, but we've got less listings, and they're selling quicker. All this shows that there's a high demand, affordable pricing, and a lot of room to grow. Cool, so this is another really cool graph. I like this one as well because you can see here the green line. This is the average of the whole of the United States, and you can see from the year 2000 up to the year 2007 how they had their sort of growth spurt, and then the bubble popped and the GFC kicked in. A lot of people lost a lot of money as it went backwards. But Texas, the blue line and the purple line, Dallas-Fort Worth, as you can see, they've been very steady throughout the GFC. And through the GFC, they only took a tiny correction. They really didn't lose a lot. They didn't have a big hit going backwards. And that's, once again, because of the jobs, because of the consistency with the demand for the area. So, and then we saw, once again, more and more jobs coming into the area around the 2011, and things have really started to turn around. Now, this isn't any kind of bubble coming up here. This is just a result of so many people continually moving into the area, creating the demand, and this is going to continue to happen because of the job opportunities. In fact, we're seeing over 300 people a day moving into the area, and as like we discussed towards the earlier slides, they're expecting over 2 million people in growth in the next 14 years. So exciting stuff. So what does that mean for future housing demand? Well, with so many people moving into the area over the next 14 years towards the year 2030, it's going to put a massive demand on housing that is half a mile from transit stations for transport. So in 2007, the market segment for this area was 46,000, just over 46,000 households. But projections for 2030 estimate this transit-oriented housing market will sit around the 270,000 households. So that's huge, huge growth in such a short period of time, which is going to put a massive demand on the local market as well as new development. Okay, so to touch on to public transport, in 2014, the Dallas Area Rapid Transit, which is called the DART, opened a 5-mile extension from Dallas-Fort Worth to the airport. They're continuing to construct another 2.6 mile extension on the Blue Line, opening this year in 2016. Also planned for another 27-mile commuter lane between downtown Fort Worth and DFW Airport, is going to open in the next couple of years too. Then we've got some more public transport here. Okay, so this is quite a, as you can see here, just have a look at all the green lines here. All of these green lines are new light rail technology that's going in. So massive developments to help commuters get around. That's going to be happening over the next few years. Now let's have a look at the roads. So Mobility 2030 are planning a $29 billion improvements to the region's road system. So once again, have a look at the green here, the new tollway facilities. Massive amounts of tollways that are coming in. So they're really planning to help commuters get around. So this is huge, huge growth. As you can see, you're talking nearly 3,500 miles of freeway and tollways, and also another 626 miles of high occupancy vehicles and managed lanes. So lots and lots of development happening as well. Cool. So this is something else which I think is a major development. So major upcoming developments. So we've got the Dallas Midtown Tax Increment Financing District. So this project is totaling over $4 billion. It's 430 acres in North Dallas, and phase 1 is going to start this year. Massive structure, over 900,000 square feet, 10-screen movie theater with 1,000 seats. You're going to have huge amount of retail, restaurants and entertainment space, office space, 310 apartments, 204-room hotel, and over just nearly 2,500 car parks. So let me show you what this is going to look like. Okay, so this is an aerial view of what they're expecting. I mean, this development is just massive. Look at that. What they expect it to look like at night. So yeah, just huge, huge development. Okay, education. So, well, look, this is an important part as well. As you can see here, in the Dallas-Fort Worth region, because of the continued growth, they're expecting an additional 400,000 students, which is going to necessitate an additional 500 schools on estimate by the year 2030. Okay, so this is probably my favorite part now. This is why I believe the growth is really moving forward, and it's jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. So you can't harp on it enough. Where there's jobs, there's going to be people. Where there's people, there's going to be growth. So in this report here, you can see in September 2015 to September 2016, the non-farm employment went up 122,000 positions in 12 months. That's huge amounts of growth. Here's another awesome chart. Look at this one. So basically, since December 2007 to December 2014, Texas was responsible for producing nearly 1.5 million new jobs. Compare that to the rest of the country minus Texas. The rest of the country actually went backwards 275,000 jobs. So it's just, look, Texas is largely responsible for nearly 1.2 million net job increase since 2007. That's just huge. Without Texas, the country would have gone backwards. So why is there so many jobs in Texas? Well, I'll tell you, it's because of business. Now, Texas is geared for business. So it's won many, many awards nationwide over the last, quite a few years, 10 odd years or so. Forbes, best state for future job growth. There's heaps and heaps of different awards that they're winning, and it's because they're geared for business. Texas has no state tax, and it's located right in the middle of the country, making it easy for shipping. So it makes sense. It logistically makes sense for huge companies to move their businesses there. And here's a couple of examples of who have. Toyota recently have announced they're moving their headquarters from California to Texas, to Plano in Dallas. They're going to be relocating 3,000 existing employees and their families to the area, and also hiring an additional 1,000 employees. Here's another one, the new FedEx office headquarters. So this is, they've just finished building in 2015, and they've employed 1,200 employees. Another huge one, the new State Farm Insurance headquarters. Massive office space, and will accommodate 8,000 employees. Here's another one, Liberty Mutual campus. 19 stories high, state-of-the-art facility, and it's going to have 4,000 employees. Another recent move was the Loan Depot headquarters to Dallas, North Dallas area, and Plano again, adding approximately 1,000 new employees in their first 3 years. You might have already heard about this one. Of course, Facebook are now building their new data center in Fort Worth, which is going to be a $500 million data center over a 110-acre lot. So lots and lots of companies moving to this North Texas region. So being that Texas is geared for business, they've actually got 55 Fortune 500 companies in the state, and Texas actually has the third most amount of Fortune 500 companies in the country, and that's only behind New York and California. Okay, so just to quickly recap, we're coming to the end of the webinar now. So we've now gone over the quality and the types of properties we supply in these areas. We've gone over the job growth, the mass migration, the demographics, the infrastructure that's being set up, the new developments, the education. So you can see overall how quickly and how much this area is moving forward. But you know what? It's not just about buying a property and knowing the area. It's about a team. When you get into property, you really need to have a team that you can rely on. This includes people like your accountants, your property managers, all that sort of stuff. There's a network that we rely on. We don't do everything by ourselves. So that's what I want to touch on now. So let's actually have a chat about the services we provide. At Paradigm Properties, we actually have a full network set up both in the US and in Australia, and we actually hold our clients' hand through the whole process. We take care of every aspect of the setup, right through to purchase from start to finish. Now this will include, if needed, finance. We can set up your self-managed super fund. We can help remortgaging your Australian properties, or even set you up with US financing. We'll get you set up with an international exchange account. This can actually save you up to 5% better than the banks. If you're going to send over $100,000, there's $5,000 you've just saved. We'll set up your US bank account. We'll set up your LLC, which is your limited liability company, and your EIN number. We'll get independent building inspections and pest reports for the properties. We'll get property insurance organized for you. We'll help get property managers. We'll get the first tenants in. We'll get solicitors, your accountants. We watch over the property contract, and we make sure settlement goes according to plan. So, and after all of that happens, we're still going to give you ongoing assistance. If you have any questions or if you need help with anything, feel free to just come back to us. So as I mentioned before, it's a service that we provide. So look, now I just want to show you how you can get in touch with us, and we'd love to have a chat. I hope you've really enjoyed this webinar today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're here to help. You can contact myself or the team on 07 3218 2704, or you can shoot us an email at info@paradigmproperties.com.au, or check us out on the website paradigmproperties.com.au. So guys, as I said, I hope you really enjoyed this webinar. Please do yourself a favor, get involved. This is happening. The window is closing. This is an amazing opportunity for anyone who wants to get involved. Thanks, guys. We're looking forward to talking to you soon. Cheers.